श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की नवदीप मायापुर धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री कुरुक्षेत्र धाम की गंगा माई यमुना माई की तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की श्री श्री देव मंदिर की Dear most merciful Lord Shri Shri Radha Kunj Bihari की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की श्री श्री श्रीनाथ जी बाल गोपाल गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री श्री गौरनिताय की श्रील प्रभुपाद की Hare Krishna. Welcome to ISKCON Detroit Devsudan Mandir, Shrimadbhagavatam morning class. So today we are reading from chapter 14, Canto 1, chapter 14, that is appearance of Lord Krishna, text 32 and 33. Let us start with invocation prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistikim. Hare Krishna. So, welcome back to Shrimadbhagavatam morning class. Today, reading from Canto 1, chapter 14, entitled The Disappearance of Lord Krishna, text 32-33. Tataivanucharaha Saure Tataivanuchara Saure Shruta Devodhavadhyaya Shruta Devodhavadhyaya Sunandananda Shirshanya Sunandananda Shirshanya Echanye Sattvatar Rishabha Api swaste asate sarve Api swaste asate sarve Rama Krishna Bhujashraya Rama Krishna Bhujashraya Api smaranti kushalam Api smaranti kushalam Asmakam baddha sauhrida Asmakam baddha sauhrida. Anyone would like to repeat?
Tataivanuchara Saure
Tataivanuchara Saure Shruta Devodhavadhyaya
Sunandananda Shirshanya
Sunandananda Shirshanya Echanye Sattvatar Sabha
Api swastyasate sarve
Api swastyasate sarve Rama Krishna Bhujashraya
Api smaranti kushalam Asmakam
baddha sauhrida. Let us go word by word. Tata eva. Similarly. Anuchara,
Anuchara,
constant companions.
constant companions.
Saure,
Shaurya,
of Lord Sri Krishna, such as
of Lord Krishna, such as
Shrutadeva,
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 Uddhava, Adhyaya,
Uddhava Adhyaya,
Uddhava and others,
Uddhava and others,
Sunanda,
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 Nanda,
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 Sheshanya,
Shirshanya,
other leaders,
other leaders,
Ye, all of them,
all of them,
Cha,
Cha,
and
and
Anye,
Anya,
others,
others,
Satvata,
Satvata,
liberated souls,
liberated souls,
Rishabha,
Rishabha,
the best men,
the best man,
Api,
Api,
if,
if,
Swasti,
Swasti,
doing well,
doing well,
Asate,
Aste,
are,
are,
Sarve,
Sarve,
all of them,
all of them,
Rama,
Rama,
Balarama,
Balarama,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Lord Krishna,
Lord Krishna,
Bhujashraya,
Raja Asraya,
under the protection of
under the protection of
Api,
Api,
if also,
if also,
Smaranti,
Smaranti,
do remember,
to remember,
Kushalam,
Kushala,
welfare,
welfare,
Asmakam,
Smakam,
about ourselves,
about us,
Baddha Sauhruda,
but the soup,
bound by eternal friendship.
bound by eternal friendship.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. Also, Shrutadeva, Uddhava and others, Nanda, Sunanda and other leaders of liberated souls, who are constant companions of the Lord, are protected by Lord Balarama and Krishna. Are they all doing well in their respective functions? Do they, who are all eternally bound in friendship with us, remember our welfare? Please repeat. Also, Shrutadeva,
Shrutadeva,
Uddhava
Uddhava,
and others,
others,
Nanda,
Nanda,
Sunanda and other leaders
other leaders,
of liberated souls,
liberated souls,
who are constant companions
who are constant companions
of the Lord,
of the Lord,
are protected by
are protected by
Lord Balarama
Lord Balarama,
and Krishna.
Krishna.
Are they all doing
Are they all
well in their respective functions?
well in their respective functions?
Do they,
Do they,
who are all eternally
who are all eternally
bound in friendship
bound in friendship
with us,
with us,
remember our welfare?
remember our
Purpose. The constant companions of Lord Krishna, such as Uddhava, are all liberated souls, and they descended along with Lord Krishna to this material world to fulfill the mission of the Lord. The Pandavas are also liberated souls who descended along with Lord Krishna to serve him in his transcendental pastimes on this earth. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 4.8, the Lord and his eternal associates, who are also liberated souls like the Lord, come down on this earth at certain intervals. The Lord remembers them all, but his associates, although liberated souls, forget due to their being Tatastha Shakti or marginal potency of the Lord. That is the difference between the Viṣṇu-tattva and Jīva-tattva. The Jīva-tattvas are infinitesimal potential particles of the Lord, and therefore they require the protection of the Lord at all times. And to the eternal servitors of the Lord is pleased to give all protection at all times. The liberated souls never therefore think themselves as free as the Lord or as powerful as the Lord, but they always seek the protection of the Lord in all circumstances, both in material world and in the spiritual. This dependence of the liberated soul is constitutional. For the liberated souls are like sparks of a fire that are able to exhibit the glow of fire along with the fire and not independently. Independently, the glow of spark is extinguished, although the quality of fire and or glowing is there. Thus, those who give up the protection of the Lord and become so-called lords themselves out of spiritual ignorance come back again to this material world, even after prolonged tapasya of the severest type. That is the verdict of all Vedic literature.
What's tapasya? What is tapasya?
Austerity.
Okay.
Om ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरों श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण हरि जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा। जय श्री श्री गौरनिताय की जय। Hare Krishna. So, yesterday we have seen how Yudhishthira Maharaj is inquiring to Arjuna, like, are all the chieftain sons of Lord Krishna, such as Susena, Charudeshna, Samba, the son of Jambavati, and Rishabha, along with their sons, all doing well? So, we all know how yesterday, how big is the family of Supreme Lord Krishna. Practically, like every living entity is children of Krishna. But in his transcendental pastime in Dwarka, like he has like 16,108 wives. So Yudhishthira Maharaj can't ask each and every person. So he was asking like all the chieftain sons of Krishna, how they are, like some famous personalities like Susena, Charudeshna, Samba. And today he is asking about his eternal associates. Shrutadeva, Uddhava, and Nanda, Sunanda, and all other liberated souls. So, he is anxiously asking about the welfare of Krishna's eternal associates in Dwaraka. Externally, like it may appear like Yudhishthira Maharaj is concerning about his friends, relatives, and all. But internally, these verses reveal like who are actually the Lord's eternal associates, and what is the difference between the Lord and the Jiva, the living entity, and why even liberated soul remain dependent on Krishna. Why protection of Krishna is the only safety in all conditions. So today we're gonna see this main sections like the Lord descends with his eternal associates, and the difference between Viṣṇu-tattva and Jīva-tattva, and the danger of independence and the beauty of dependence on Krishna. So, let's start with the Lord descends with his eternal associates. Because when Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, he plans for his transcendental pastimes, we see like there are several associates who accompany him in his transcendental leelas or pastimes. Krishna never appears alone. Whenever the Lord descends, his devotees, servants, associates, paraphernalia, abode, and mission also descend. Because even in the purport it is said like the constant companions of Lord Krishna, such as Uddhava, are all liberated souls, and they descended along with Lord Krishna to fulfill the mission of the Lord. So this is very important philosophical point, because like we all know, like, even in our general terms, like a celebrity or a famous personality, or some he goes for a rally or something, he goes for a procession or something. How many of the great liberated souls, they also depend completely on Krishna. They don't act independently. Because if we surrender to Krishna, if we depend on Krishna, Krishna will take care, and Krishna will make sure like everything will be in a proper place for everyone. And also we have seen the best example in his childhood pastimes, Nanda Maharaja, how he represents pure parental love. He never thinks Krishna is God. He thinks like Krishna is my son, Krishna is his son. And because pure love is higher than awe and reverence. And even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he himself expresses the sweetness of Raja Bhakti and importance of gopis. How exalted devotees are gopis. And here also mentioned about Sunanda and other associates who are eternal servants. They are not something like ordinary conditioned souls. They accompany the Supreme Lord in his divine pastimes, divine Leela. Just, we can understand just as how a king or a president or some ruler, how he travels with his ministers or his like associates, principal associates and servants. Similarly, the Supreme Lord appears with his eternal entourage, like eternal liberated souls. They wanted to serve Krishna. How best they want to serve Krishna. How, example of gopis, they are very much eager to serve Krishna in each and every possible way. They do not even waste a moment in not thinking of Krishna. At each and every moment they think of Krishna. Oh, Krishna wants this, Krishna wants that. Oh, I have to do this to satisfy Krishna. I want to do this to please Krishna. They do nothing for themselves. They are completely selfless and purely dependent on love of Krishna. So, when we see in even in purport it is mentioned as Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 text 8 in transcendental knowledge, it's like Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chuduskrutam dharma samsthapanataya sambhavami yuge. So Lord explains why he descends into this material world. Krishna descends to protect his devotees, to annihilate demons, and to re-establish the dharma principles in this material world. But here, devotees also descend with him to accompany in his pastimes. So we all know, like, not only the positive side, like, I mean, devotees take the positive side of Krishna, like accompanying him, but still, even like if you see the example of Jaya Vijaya, how they got into a demon's life, like 3 lifetimes, like Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, and various other demons. So even the Lord's plan is very different, and devotees, wherever they are, they wanted to serve Krishna in whichever body and whichever mood they are. They wanted to serve Krishna. Even in the Kaivalras mood also, Kaivalras Rasa, they wanted to serve Krishna. They are very eager to serve him in every possible means. And we all know how Pandavas are also very exalted devotees. They are not ordinary kings. Bhima was represented as son of Vayu, and Arjuna was empowered by demigod Indra. Yudhishthira, who represented Dharma and is a son of Yamadharmaraj. So their appearance was also part of Lord's mission, and we also seen how Bhishma-dev and many other exalted devotees who are accompanying him in his mission. So next comes is like, one may question like, okay, what is the difference between Viṣṇu-tattva and Jīva-tattva? So this is the main like philosophical heart of this purport. And Srila Prabhupada here clearly explains that Krishna is Viṣṇu-tattva and we are all Jīva-tattva. We are all living entities and we are all belongs to Tatastha Shakti, like marginal potency of the Lord. We are like, both are spiritual but are not equal. Like as we see even in the example of purport, the fire and the spark of fire, both are same quality. Even the spark has the quality of lighting fire with others, but still the tiny spark, how much it can light. If it stays away from the big fire, how much it can go some distance and it can vanish. But if the spark connects with the fire, how much intensity it has, and if it accompanies many, the fire itself has huge amount of energy, and it has huge capacity to even burn anything into ashes. So, so the Lord remembers them all, but His associates, although liberated souls, forget due to their being Tatastha Shakti. So here, what do you mean by Tatastha Shakti, which is like marginal potency of the Lord? The Jiva, like we, the living entity, has two options. Like marginal means like either we can choose spiritual or internal potency, or we can choose external potency, Maya. We have two options. The living entity has two options. Either it can surrender to Krishna, either it has to surrender to Maya. So it's like that. And also we have discussed about spark and fire analogy, which is spark coming from fire grows brilliantly near the fire, but as soon as it stays away and goes away further, it loses brilliance away from the fire. Similarly with Krishna, when we are connected with Krishna, we are also acquiring spiritual brilliance. And when we get away from Krishna, suppose if we take our example, when we are in material world, how much we are suffering when we are staying away from Krishna, and when we give back to Krishna, and when we not obey His rules, and when we don't serve Him properly, how much we suffer in this material world, day after day, problem after problem, one thing after other thing, like the suffering continues, which is like we experience material darkness when we are away from Krishna, because it's been external potency of the Lord, and so it causes many sufferings to the living entities. So we may think like, oh, why do people still feel empty despite wealth, fame, success and technology? Because the spark has become separated from the fire. So that's the reason it has lost its intensity, its power. But when we try to join with the fire, when we try to join back, when we try to get back to our eternal abode, then we will be in a complete blissful and happy mood, always. And even in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned, Mamaivamso Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We are eternal parts of Krishna. Part means same quality but not same quantity. As we take an example even of a big pizza and a slice of pizza. It both has the same quality, same, everything is same, but still the whole pizza is in quantity, it's much more bigger than a small slice of pizza. So it's like that. A drop of ocean has salty quality but cannot become the ocean. Drop is just a fine, minimal volume, but ocean is of plenty and huge, ample of abundant of water. So it's like that. And even we can take the example of if we take example of great machinery in a factory, and you may find like small nuts and bolts fixed into that machinery. What happens if you take one of the nut or bolt got detached? Will that be used? Will that be used anywhere? Will that be useful? If it gets detached from the body of machine, how useful is that? Or imagine how useful it is when it is attached to the machine. So it's that important that we get connected to Krishna and make our life successful and be experience the eternal blissful in the service of Sri Radha. So here is like liberation does not mean becoming equal to God. Liberation means freedom from illusion and restoration of service attitude. And even in Srila Prabhupada's strong warning says that those who think themselves independent become so-called lords. Like, this is the disease of material life. Like, many people may think like, oh, I am the controller, I am enjoyer, I don't need God. Like, I can do whatever I want. I can go there, go here, I can spend money here, spend money there, I can waste my time. I can do many sense gratificatory things. So this mentality causes bondage to this material world. Because when you try to enjoy, when you try to do sense gratificatory things, you automatically incur sins, you automatically have that, attachment to that addictions and everything. Automatically your health will be getting spoiled and eventually you will get that impressions restored upon your mind and slowly like you will be getting addicted to it. Even while leaving the body also, if you don't do the proper sadhana in your lifetime, you can't remember Krishna and eventually you will be going to a hellish life, like more degraded life, like more demoniac or many degraded life we can experience. So it's like that. And even in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is mentioned like Jīva Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. The constitutional position of the soul is eternal servant of Krishna. It's not like temporary servant, not forced servant. It's like eternal servant. We relish more than Krishna. Krishna doesn't need anyone's service, but we, for our happiness, for our relishing our happiness, we serve Krishna eternally. We have to serve Krishna eternally. So imagine like if we daily use mobile phone and many electronic gadgets. If mobile phone has said like, oh, I am independent, I don't need anything, like I don't need charging. What happens? After a few hours or after a few days, the battery gets drained off completely and we can't use that until and unless we get charged into it, we can't use it. So similarly, without connection to Krishna, our enthusiasm, our peace, our clarity of mind, everything will be lost. So that's very important to connect with Krishna. Yeah, and next we're gonna see about the danger of independence and the beauty of dependence on Krishna. So the material world begins when the soul desires independence from Krishna. Oh, I want to be served, I want to be bossy, I want to control over other people. So then Krishna gives you chance, like Krishna says like, okay, you can go and experience in the material world. But still, He's so merciful that He comes to us as the form of Paramatma. He resides in our heart as Paramatma. So, even the important statement in purport made by Srila Prabhupada is like, those who give up the protection of the Lord and become so-called lords themselves come back again to this material world. Until and unless you understand what's your eternal position and what is your relation with the Supreme Lord, we are tend to be trapped in this loop of birth and death repetition, like birth after death, death after birth, birth after death, like that. Until and unless you realize, oh, I am not this body, I am this soul, and what I have to do for that soul, like what is the soul's nourishment, what daily activities that I have to perform, and how to make it more happy, and how to get back to Krishna and how to connect with Krishna. Then, we all see in our modern society, modern civilization, teaches many themes like believing in yourself and you are your own master, like many things we see in our society and neighborhood, people having the maid servant and people trying to be bossy over others, trying to dominate others, and creating our own truth. So this is like a complete of false misconception and false independence. But Shrimadbhagavatam teaches, without Krishna's shelter, everything becomes unstable. There is nothing stability other than Krishna's shelter. So when we see some real life, like day-to-day examples like health, we have experienced COVID virus and many other virus, like how it can at that time how people show that humanity towards others, like helping towards others, and when there is no risk, people are like, oh, there's nothing right now. I want to control over that person. I want this, I want that from that person. So it's like that. And we have seen, due to several social and political conflicts, how the stock markets gets collapsed in a overnight, and how market gets worse and worse. And relationships, like people promise permanence, but situations change quickly. We don't know at what time, at what moment, what may happen. So if we completely depend on Krishna, then Krishna will take care, and Krishna will be like our protector in this material world. He's the only protector in this material world. And technology. We all know technology doesn't involve one or two systems, but it may involve several hundreds and thousands of machines and equipment and everything. If something like a small system failure, if it arises, it can disrupt entire network, and entire the technology may get disrupted, and even sometimes even we experienced internet failure. We cannot get the service of internet or Wi-Fi for some time due to technical. They may say due to technical disturbances or technicalities, we are trying to fix the problem. So it happens, everything is interconnected. Even the slightest of the disruption may even cause the whole network gets off. So if we're gonna see in further cantos the story of Gajendra Moksha. Gajendra is a powerful elephant. He is physically so strong, and he is surrounded by his fellow family members, family elephants. But when he went into a river or pond, and there he was attacked by crocodile, and his strength failed. He was fighting rigorously with that crocodile. He was dragging that crocodile outside, and again crocodile is dragging him inside. It was happening for a long time. Even his relatives failed to rescue him from that crocodile. But his only surrender to the Lord has saved him from that crocodile, and he got liberated. So his prayers are amazing. We're gonna see in further cantos how Gajendra prayed to Supreme Lord, and Supreme Lord, without any hesitation, he came. Even he did not wait for Garuda. He just he just came from Vaikuntha, and he immediately chopped off that crocodile with his Sudarshan Chakra. So this says material arrangements cannot fully protect us. One day, eventually, we don't have guarantee that okay, it's our permanent shelter, it's our permanent dependence. Everything in this material world itself is a temporary thing, and it's full of miseries. So what we can have other than shelter of Supreme Lord that is being protective all the time in this material world. So even if we see another famous example in Mahabharatam, how Queen Draupadi, when she was disrobed in the palace of Hastinapur, she initially tried holding sari herself, and even she tried off human protection from her husband, Pandavas, but none of them had worked. So then she finally raised her both hands and she surrendered to Krishna and she prayed to Krishna, Govinda, hey Govinda. Then unlimited protection came. Dependence invites divine intervention. Dependence on Krishna invites divine intervention. So, protected devotee does not mean he has no problems, he has no test, or he has no difficulties. Protection means he is never spiritually abandoned, he is guided towards Krishna, and he is purified through circumstances and difficulties. Even in spiritual world like Vaikuntha, liberated souls still serve and depend on Krishna. Dependence is eternal and it's permanent. It is not a material weakness, but it is a form of spiritual love. See, when you love someone or when you have that most intimate connection with others, you depend on them for some sort of reasons or for some sort of things. So if you try to, as we know how Supreme Lord Shri Radhakrishna Bihari, how he is Supreme Father and how much eternally he loves us. When we start loving him and when we have that love, but it's in dormant stage, but when we try to awaken it and when we try to chant his holy name, how much blissful we feel and how spiritually we experience that love with him. So it's like that. And also, I would like to quote a small analogy where, Srila Prabhupada often quotes this analogy. A fish may sit on the golden throne outside, but still without water it suffers. Similarly, without Krishna consciousness, the soul suffers even amidst luxury. You may think the rich person is coming in the so-and-so car and he's enjoying and everything. But how long will that enjoyment last? Is that eternal? Is that permanent? Eventually, after a few time, after a few years, he may lose his body, and he may have to, if he don't utilize properly. Human life is very rare. We don't know after how many births we may get again a human birth. So if we don't utilize it properly, we may go into some hellish planets or hellish birth. So it's like that. And when a small child holds his father's hand, how much protected he feels. So similarly, if we take shelter of Krishna, if we take shelter of his lotus feet, then we can also be feeling very safe through Krishna consciousness and Krishna protection. So I would like to conclude today's class by stating few realizations or few takeaways. Krishna descends with his eternal associates. The Jiva is spiritual but always dependent on Krishna, and we are controlled by Krishna. Real liberation means loving dependence on the Lord. False independence causes bondage and suffering. The safest position in all worlds is the shelter at the lotus feet of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Dependence on Krishna is not weakness. Devotional life means relationship with Krishna. We are all eternal servants of Krishna, and protection comes through surrender. And as we seen in the example of spark and fire, we have to stay connected to the fire through chanting, hearing Bhagavatam, serving devotees, and remembering Krishna. So thank you everyone for attending. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions, thoughts, please do, and please forgive me if I misspoke anything.
Nice lesson.
It is beautiful explained about the Jīva-tattva, how it's qualitatively same to Krishna, but it's quantitatively different.
Thank you, Prabhu. Grandra Shrimadbhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Hare Krishna.